Towers of Doom! Grand final time, everybody! So, we're heading into another match between Team Ash and the Hardos. Seems like lately this is becoming one of the standard games that we're getting here. Now, to be fair, today the Chili Donuts and also Team did not participate in the tournament. First of all, Team is first place anyways. They have won so many of these tournaments and participated in plenty, so no matter what happens in the last two qualifiers, they are secured in the first place position for the playoffs. So they are in a pretty decent spot here. Same time, Chili Donuts, they're a little bit of an awkward one. They could technically still fall out of the top 4, so they got to battle for this a little bit. I fully expect them to participate in the final, the 10th qualifier. But now we also got Team Ash, who's obviously attempting to cement a good position in the top 4. And for the Hardos, it's a little bit the same thing. I mean, these two are really just fighting for a position in the top 4. And it's kind of important because you get your pick of you want to go up against in the playoffs if you have a good position there. Anyways, both teams have been struggling a little bit today in the semifinals. Stukov as a first pick here for Team Ash. X-Ray subbing in today, by the way, for Team Ash, so in case that you haven't watched any of the semifinals. Quick note on that. But we've seen some pretty good plays. Honestly, the games today might not have been the cleanest that we've seen in the last few weeks, but they were definitely incredibly entertaining. A huge amount of comebacks. So I'm not quite sure what to expect from this series now, since all of the previous ones have been a total roller coaster of emotions. Comeback after comeback, teams taking massive leads only to lose them again in the last few seconds. So one of the games today had a 4% core, so yeah, that was that. Jojo is in and we get Hanzo together with that. Plus now Blaze and Sylvanas. So pretty much Ash is up to their old shenanigans. Hanzo was picked away from them, so they don't get him. But now in Towers of Doom, they could still with Bishops go for a Genji pick. Lunara is something that they love to play too, but they have their Sylvanas. They got Stukov and Blaze now. And let's see what else they can now get. Frontline, alright, so they're eliminating Diablo from that. The thing with Team Ash is, like, they have a fairly predictable hero pool, I want to say. And they stay more or less in the meta pocket for most of their picks. But they always have solid alternatives for whatever hero is getting picked away from them. So I haven't really seen them experiment too much outside of that meta pocket. But they are just solid in the heroes they play. And it gives them... I mean, they're just a solid team. They play a very aggressive style. They like to take fights that nobody else takes. But in regards to their picks, it's not like they're throwing a lot of curveballs when we're in the draft screen. Urel and Anduin. Right, Anduin can definitely help once that we got some lockdowns with stuns and silencers against anyone, as long as Yasuo keeps himself in the back. Final 2 picks. So, yeah. What do we get for Dinado in the front line? And what is Bishop's gonna play? Are we gonna get that Shimada battle again with Genji against Hanzo? Well, nope. This time we got his Zeratul. Zeratul was banned multiple times against him and now finally got it through the draft one time. And they actually made a play for it. Dinado and Muradin. So they have already multiple stuns into Stukov silencers with a lurking arm. Plus a potential Sylvanas Wailing Arrow, unless of course she decides to go for Mind Control and follows up on a stun with that. And the last pick for Azo. Last time they played on this map they used the Vikings. Are they going to do that again? Nope, they go for Thrall. Alright. Game number 1, everybody. The grand final, qualifier number 9 of the X-Cup series, the X-Cup Winter. Let's go and find out which of the two teams here takes the lead in the grand final best of 3. We got Trash Lightning in the house. Alright, we're gonna touch upon that in just a moment, but let's focus on the blue team first. We have X-Ray on the left side with Stukov, Morenas on Blaze, Bishops on Zeratul going into the Shadowhunt on level 1, so we're gonna see Might of the Nerazim. Very likely. Mitra and Sylvanas, Dinado and Muradin. And on the right side of the map, Bad Benny playing it out with Jojo. Hazu on Hanzo. And Nick is playing Trash Lightning Thrall. So he's going to try and stack it up here with Yasuo and Anduin. And Urel played by Copenhagen. This should be interesting. Because it's not the typical map to... Honestly, lately we are not seeing a lot of Thrall in the first place, but it's not really the typical map to see Trash Lightning being picked. Then again, there's a lot of standoffs around altars, so if in those situations Nick is able to just get a couple of good shots out, he might just get enough stacks to have an impact here. Now, obviously, if you're the blue team, you already see what's happening. You see that talent choice, and you know that you need to spread out a little bit more than you usually do, just to make sure that he doesn't get too many stacks in. The problem with Trash Lightning is simply if any player finishes that in a reasonable time frame, you can absolutely crush. This is one of the reasons, by the way, why Thrall is not at the solo lane. So they needed a dedicated solo laner so that Thrall can join the 4-man and then try and get his stacks in. Because once that he's done with it, it's not even the increase in damage that is the most important. The really big deal is that after you complete the quest, you always prioritize heroes. So no matter what you attack in any kind of minion wave for any fight, the jumps always go to another hero. And that allows you to farm damage to an absurd extent. So if you complete the quest, it will have a big impact. Completing it in a reasonable time frame, that's the problem. So either way, we'll see if Nick can get a lot of that done. Even before completion, the damage output obviously is quite significant. And he's not doing too bad here either. He's already at 5 stacks, not too shabby, especially considering that there wasn't a single objective yet. Copenhagen gets pressure topside. Spray game is 1 point, but there's very little else that they could contribute. So the Space Goat just jumps out. But yeah, gets another one connected. It's actually very, very good, I gotta say. That, on the other hand, not so good. Losing Hanzo here, yeah, that doesn't really help them. With the Feral Resilience in. But Thrall is off to a good start, I gotta admit. So yeah, Vision is already granted over here. They got that. He's gonna get another stack easily. And this is all happening without an objective spawning yet. And once the cooldown is ready, he should be able to get another one, even if they lose out on the camp. But they claim it. They steal it away after the blue team did all the work. Urel dies. 8 stacks by now for Thrall. Could get another one here too as he turns it around onto 9. And they're nearly dropping the entire blue team. Everybody is low. But the blue team is at the end of the day the one to walk away with the camp. I honestly thought the red team had it already. But yeah, there was apparently still a slither left. So now they're able to claim the camp, take another kill, 3-0, and looking pretty solid. But I'm a little bit worried for Team Ash in the long run, because if Nick is able to keep that pace up, he's going to complete that thing in no time. So the battle is now focusing down to the bottom of the map. And I'm very, very curious how long this one is going to rage on, because if Nick is getting more of those stacks together now, he is going to dominate the late game. And they're all... Oh, Bishops! They're going for Nick, but it's Bishops that moves in with Zeratul and nearly gets murdered. They were literally waiting for him to make an appearance and locked him down right away. I love how they are currently sending the Nado to the front to make sure that Thrall has an easy target and keep everybody else a little bit farther away. So it's a decent job, but of course eventually if you're playing out these fights you have to clump up a little bit more, and that's where Nick can then go in and easily get his stacks. And he's already getting another 2 here in this little battle. And this is objective number 1 that we're talking about. So once again, trying to make the plays here. But they are looking good. They're trying to go for the channel. Nice dodge on the Stormbolt. Once more, locking Denado in, and, well, Thrall is obviously not only doing damage outs with that Chain Lightning, he's doing way more than that. So they're coming in with these auto-attack hits, and he just solo Stukov in the back. And they get mirrored in too, so that's a nice double kill for them, with even more pressure towards Sylvanas. That's a highly successful early game for them already. Not only do they look at 2 kills, make it 3, but they get 2 out of the 3 altars, they push the bot lane a bit. And yes, obviously Team Ash is getting kills too, but we have 14,000 damage on Thrall. They're brushing through that wall like it's nothing. And yeah, they are just absolutely dominating this early game now. Now, dominating in the sense... it always feels a little bit weird to say that, because in a sense there's 3 kills also for the blue team, you know, so dominating might be a little bit off. Or some people might perceive it that way, but if you think about it, we're 5 minutes in, they have an entire level lead already, and more importantly, they put the bell tower down to 50% and have Thrall in a position where he has an incredible amount of stacks towards his level 1. Now, all of that can go south. We've observed it in this tournament multiple times that a team that got the initial lead performed poorly later on. But they are a team that usually has the experience that they need. And also, they have multiple heroes that really scale well into the late game. And one of the best examples is really Thrall. Because, as pointed out earlier, the problem that Thrall has in a lot of cases is that if you're going into the Crash Lightning, you will end up with a Thrall that is more or less useless because he never completes the quest. He's very slow at stacking. There's a reason why most of the time when you see this talent, it's either on Battlefield of Eternity, and again, lately we don't see a lot of Thrall, or you've seen it, I guess, occasionally on Volskaya Foundry, and you try to just go generally for maps where the objective is anywhere where you have an easy stacking. But 5 minutes in, being done with 12 stacks, I mean, not only are you getting closer and closer to completing it and getting your reward, but also the damage increase on it is already pretty impactful. And there's another aspect to it too that we should probably point out as well. Normally what happens when you're fighting, let's say, over an altar right here, you have someone that sits here at the side, is trying to zone, and someone is channeling. So if that typical scenario plays out, then you have an easy time interrupting back here by just hitting the front target when it gets a little bit too close. So all of a sudden the opponent has to spread very differently, and that might lead to you getting an easier kill, isolating somebody. So technically speaking, it's a very interesting choice for the map. But the main reason why it works is because they're not using Thrall as a dedicated solo laner. They have URL for that. They're just using him as the third melee, which we obviously have seen in the past a lot. Now, another one that we have to point out is definitely Bishops here. Zeratul is another one of those that can, in the late game, have an amazing impact, because once that he's done with his Shadowhunter quest and has a few more talents, especially the Might of the Narazim on level 10, he has an incredible amount of mobility. And that can be a massive problem, in particular for someone like Hanzo. Yasuo as well, with his Anduin, could be in trouble here. But Harzorps is the one that is most likely going to be targeted first by Zeratul, and if he's able to make a move for him, then you can lock in on him and take him down pretty easily. So, yeah, Hazo, he's the one that really has to be careful, needs to also worry a little bit about his position. But at the same time, we now have also the Pharaoh Resilience here. This one, I gotta admit, I really don't like. Follow through as a talent on level 7 for Thrall always feels like it's hot garbage, because technically speaking, if you're thinking about what you could do, and if you are just go theory crafting, you get a lot of damage out with it. But most of the time, that's not really the case. If you take that and having the Echo of Elements on level 1 that gives you an additional charge makes a little bit more sense. But the problem is, one of the things that you give up here is, of course, that nuke and sustain that you get with your traditional level 7. Now, where it helps you a little bit is bursty damage on a target. So that's definitely true. So in this case, if he just tries to play around, and let's say, for example, Zeratul makes an engage into the backline, you get a quick ability in one hit. With quick ability, I usually mean the wolf. You lead with the wolf, you lock a target down, you get a quick hit in, then you go and hit a chain lightning, another one. You can burst the target pretty quickly. So that might be a good argument so that you can pressure Zeratul a little bit more. Channel's already in over here. Down at the bottom, the bell tower is lost. So yeah, generally speaking, I don't like that level 7 choice at all. But I can see why it could be a really nice talent to pressure Zeratul more in those fights and pushing back a little bit. Still 13 stacks by now. Main focus is really the level 1 talent. But yeah, let's see how much more they can get. Because now they've taken also the lead in bell tower control. So that's pretty big. And we got 28 to 36 points right now. There is Sylvanas to consider for Team Ash. She's going to make it much easier to bring this back. But they're already trying to defend as best they can. Yeah, and here we go. Yeah, again, no Ancestral Wrath, so he needs to be careful. Nick needs to be a lot more careful. He doesn't have any self-sustain here. But he has a bit more burst if he rotates through his abilities. So as long as he does that well, the initial amount of damage is definitely going to be nice. Oh my god. Get murdered. Goodbye. So, shitty mount, by the way. Like, really, Nick, come on. I'm used to, like, there's no synergy right here. There's like nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, I like that we have at least a few more people on the same team running the same mount, but come on, bro, you got a money pick, so at least get that. Or get a doubloon or something, but that, no. That's just a big no from me. Nope. Alright, either way, so Zeratul, he's already trying to shirk around at the edges. Good save on Thrall. Gets a little bit more damage out here and is by now on 14 stacks, so it's not as easy for him any longer to get the stacks together, but he's still getting them. That was shitty. That was a really unfortunate play. So they start out with the Sundering straight into the arrow, which never hits because of it, but at least they get the kill on Zeratul. They follow it up with number 2 against Sylvanas. And with the control and the bell tower still in their hands, they can get even more kills here. And they move in for Blaze. Yeah, the shots are fired as well, so 23 to 36 points now. Another look, by the way, at that problem that they had. So yeah, check it out here. Once that they come in with the Sundering, the arrow comes at the same moment. It all is hinging really on the idea of killing Zeratul. So they were able to get that kill. But obviously you want to coordinate those two ults a little bit better so they can get value out of both. But Zeratul is the target. So they're pretty much just playing whacker bishops. Every single time that Zeratul is popping his head out, he's getting whacked. That's the play here. And that makes a whole lot of sense, because that is the biggest problem for them. Now, as it stands, we have them going for a freebie. There's 4 more shots for free. They already realized that eventually they want to lose the bottom bell tower to Team Ashe again, especially with Sylvanas. So as it's already at 50% HP, they say, alright, we get the boss. They retake, and we take the lead on the points. 17 stacks for Thrall, so very good moves from him. He's at 22,000 damage. He's literally doubling the damage amount of Sylvanas, who's the top damage dealer for the blue team at this point. And, well, let's go. Once again, another move right here. And Bad Benny is cleaning the bottom lane up a little bit. Okay, so they got the camp. Double altar on the map. And that's probably we're going to see a few more stacks for our boy Thrall. On level 13 now with the Frostwolf's Grace. Gets the Sundering out. They lock in on X-Ray, but this time they can't get the kill. Hanzo hasn't used his arrow yet. No follow-up from him. And Zeratul is already on Urel. And that might be the end of Thrall. The War Chief is down. Green Jesus is dead. Bad Benny is in trouble. And they are all on the run. There's the arrow finally, but Benny is low and he gets dropped too. They get another stun against Urel, who's barely able to pop the ult, but she's able to survive after all. Hazu is also moving out just before the lurking arm can connect. But yep, once again, Team Ashe with the aggression that is just so typical for them. They're able to move in, 4 shots fired, and they connect another 4, dropping the core of the red team down to 28, 19 on their own. So, yeah, not too bad. The aggression that we are used to from the blue team is once again coming in. And they are following up with another kill. They drop Hanzo. And it's just them murdering the red team in that last engage. And you can never feel safe sitting underneath the bell tower if you're up against them. Especially when they have Sylvanas in their midst. They just simply go in and they crush. So now it's 6 kills to 6. Dead even. They go for bishops. He should honestly fall. They got his number here. He did not expect that much resistance. The bell tower at the bottom of the map gets converted. Early level 16 might help them to retake it. And of course now the double pull is also available. We have them with a Tempest Fury. So trying for even more auto attack style. So you gotta realize that Nick is going for a very different build from what we're normally seeing here. Level 7, level 4, both of the talents not something that's really all that common, at least when we're talking about the competitive scene. It was a very heavily established build where the only question pretty much was if you would go for the stacks on level 4 or not. But right now he is going for a slightly different style. And despite the death in the last battle, thus far it worked out for them. Triple altar phase, 4 altars on each side. And they're starting to make their plays. Yeah, level 17 already available. But this is obviously going to be an important one. Let's see how many they can get here. Penny is already trying to sniff this out. Up at the top, playing this a bit aggressive. Oh, that would be a pretty forward trap that they have. So they're only showing 2, but Mirrodin is there. Urel eats the Storm Bolt. Yep, and that's a kill. Nice stun chain. No chance of getting out of CC here. Down here, the channel is happening, but it seems that Team Ash is going to get 2 out of the 3 as this continues. First 4 shots are fired. Blue team is able to sneak away the one at the top. And now they have a much easier time on the left side, of course. But the battle isn't over yet. Hazu gets attacked. Light bomb. But the storm boulders, they're engaging over the debris. Murder is moving in. And boy, this is getting a little bit crazy. The last couple of minutes, Team Ash has been going through the Hardos like hot butter through cheese. Taking the kills whenever they wanted to. And they're getting the bell tower conversion again. Blaze didn't wait with the channel. So yeah, but they still want that bell tower and they're likely to get it. But Extra might be a little bit too far out. There's the wolf and that's a kill. Down goes Stukov, but again, they got the bell tower. So that was definitely worth it. Hashtag worth. Nick is still in trouble. 20 stacks for him, and Muradin doesn't want to let go. But they're able to get away, and there's another kill against Zeratul this time. Job well done. They're trying to follow on the rest. My try on Sylvanas is getting away, and this fight is just going from left to right and right to left. I mean, it's honestly crazy. Team gets a kill, the other team turns it around, grabs 1-2, take the bell tower, lose it again 10 seconds later. It's just nasty. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. We have 17 kills. We have 14 minutes into the game. 20 stacks for Thrall, and he's sitting at 32,000 damage. Yeah, they're already double checking, and Morenas has sniffed it out. That was actually quite nicely done. They have no idea that they know, but then again, they are pretty quick. Yeah, they're getting this for free. Blue team is just not fast enough. They were still busy down at the bottom of the map, so this rotation of the Hardos worked out really, really well. Well done. 4 more shots fired. We're talking 11 points to 20. But at the bottom of the map, Sylvanas is making another move. They're great at rotating Sylvanas over onto these lanes and applying some structural pressure. 4 deaths on Zeratul. Yeah, they were ready for him. It's one of the reasons why they have Thrall here too. The Sundering is of course locking him down. And then also you have the Wolf, which make it really difficult for Zeratul to use the mobility that he absolutely needs to be as deadly as he possibly can. Another interrupt. Yeah, they're delaying it as best as possible. Harzobs has already channeled. Nick is looking for a few more stacks, but can't find them so far. And X-Ray is able to make the move on the left side. As usual, we have the easy trade between the two. Yeah, and Nick is now at 21. Closer and closer. But they have level 20. Bullseye is in. The enough fire for Anduin. Seraphim. And with level 20, with their Storm talents, they're trying to go for the middle now. They're trying to get another bell tower conversion here. Sylvanas, careful girl. Might try moving out and getting nearly murdered here. Pop your head out and you're dead. Red team is waiting for an opportunity to get another kill. But they're also suffering a lot of structural damage at the top and at the bot lane. Their bell tower here is lower than 50%, and I don't even want to talk about this one. So they need to apply pressure too. The problem is always that if Team Ash wins a team fight, for example, they could easily send some heroes towards the top and the bottom and claim both. And then you're on deep shit. So for now, bot lane, that's where they're trying to counter pressure. Zeratul is saying, well, thank you, then I'm going to take the top. So they're going for the trade. Obviously, the bot lane is more important. There's 2 camps instead of 1 pushing through it. So with them already trying to escort the pumpkins in, it's going to be a very important one. And here's the attempt to slow them down as much as possible. Poke them a little bit and not even let them get into position to defend against the pumpkins. But in this case, they're all going to be taken down. Single altar, and for that, the bottom lane is also so much more important. Solo altar at the bottom of the map. Very difficult to access it for the blue team. They're trying to see if they can win something, win a battle. But instead, all of a sudden, we have Blaze fully isolated. Urel literally just jumped his jet propulsion. Good wailing arrow, but not good enough. Hanzo's arrow gets dodged too. And the altar is already up. Urel is starting to move in. Bishops is sitting in the back now, though. But they go for the nano. Oh, and Murder nearly got caught there. 24 stacks now for Nick. And the shots have been fired. They're down to 3 points on the core. 3 points on the core. The Hardos are inching closer and closer to a victory in game number 1. Thrall at 25 stacks. And again, the power spike, once he completes, is going to be crazy. And already they're winning. His damage is definitely not something that you can ignore here. He's at 47,000. Only Hanzo has more damage than him. Him and Sylvanas, to be fair. So, yeah. They're pushing them back again. There's more pumpkins. Single pumpkin camp is all that you need here to win the game. Only one. But yeah, there's continuous fights. Only one that hasn't died yet, by the way, is Anduin. Anduin employs a strategy in the backline that is well known internationally as the French defense. He's running away like no other. He's insane. Like, honestly, he's great at it. When he sees danger, I mean, he gets boots too. Lion speed boots, you know? Like, he just... Whenever he sees anybody coming, he's just like, ah! And starts running away. So, yeah, that helped him to not die a single time. But there's the quest completed. Thrall is going to poke them to death now. Thrall is going to poke them to death at this point. You can interrupt and poke whenever you want. There's a minion wave, you don't care anymore. That's insanely good for them. So, yeah. Oh my god, they go for the arrow! The follow-up! Stuns galore! The bunker on the ground. They're all a little bit low here. Single ult at the bottom of the map. They have to engage. There's one in the middle too, but they nearly get a kill. The Russians, check it out. They nearly get the kill here, but now they are on the receiving end of the beating. Bishops is in the back. He's already low. They need kills, but look at Sneaky Rel. Copenhagen goes for the channel. That's victory. They take it, and they have now successfully taken the lead in this grand final. The Hardos with a win on the first map. GG and well played. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Second map of the series, our grand final at qualifier number 9 is Garden of Terror. Bit surprised by the pick. We had Braxis up, Garden was up, but also Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines. And I would have bet money on the Hardos picking one of the two latter ones. But I think that there's a pretty solid chance that they are trying to sneak in the Vikings here. They played them already once on this map, and they played the Vikings in one of the earlier tournament matches today too. That being said, I also think they're going to be banned. Because right now, if you're Team Ash, you probably saw some of those games. You look at Garden of Terror and you're like, that doesn't really pass the smell test, so we're going to be soon back to the days where you're just banning Vikings against Hazu's team. Just to be on the safe side. I mean, as I say, they ban Hogger. Another good pick here that Copenhagen takes a lot. Not only on Garden, but on Garden it's one of the highest priority ones. I mean, anything that really helps you to get some of the camps easily is great. Garden of Terror is the map with the most mercenary camps. So if you have full on control of those, you will apply pressure on every single lane against your opponent. Sylvanas is also banned, so they're really starting to go for some target bans against Team Ash. Maitri has been playing Sylvanas whenever they get a chance. It's a little bit similar to what we are seeing with Hanzo, played by Bishops. There's the Jojo pick, Dinado, heading straight into Johanna, who these days is, I mean, she's pretty much first pick material in whichever you're seriously looking at least here on the European server, so yeah. But what's the opening for the Hardos? You can also still play, I mean, Dehaka is up, Falstad is up, Brightwing is up, you can go full global on this one. Nara and Blaze. Okay. And they do this thing. I mean, okay, to be fair, they had now Copenhagen play the Vikings and Hazo play the Vikings lately. So with multiple players on the team already showing that they are willing and able to play the Vikings, they're not really in this situation anymore. Where you could initially like fake them out, pick another hero for that person and then swap it afterwards. So there's that. But yeah, the question is of course, are they going to play the Vikings, yes or no? Always assuming that Team Ash doesn't come in now on the third ban and eliminates them. Blaze and Lunara would definitely fit the bill. Could always go for Falstad too to match Dehaka if the Vikings get banned. Or just simply ban the idea of the Vikings completely. I mean, they showed them a few times. They don't have to ban them. So, yeah. And what else are we getting here? It's a little bit sad. I mean, it was more or less obvious. But yeah. They go for Diablo and Brightwing immediately, so you can already see they had definitely a plan B. Even more than that, they just needed something for Nick. But yeah, it would have been kind of fun to see the Vikings being played again. But yeah, they just shut that down. So it was expected. It was expected. But okay, still a good sign up, a good setup. So they could go for let's say Falstad towards the end here. And for we get my try on Tychus. Okay. So Deckard Cain and Tychus for the blue team, the final 2 picks. A double StarCraft. Alright. Pretty well rounded over there. But what is Nick gonna take? Haven't seen Maiev the entire day, by the way. Not even once. Pretty sure if Team would have been participating today, Ultralisk would have at least locked it in one time. But, well, here we go. Final pick. And it is Li Ming. Seems like we're gonna aim for some resets. Lunara poking them down with the damage over time, then Li Ming delivering the final blow. Either way, Garden of Terror is the map. So guys, let's go and check out the second game of the best of 3 series at the grand final of qualifier number 9. Bishops playing Hanzo in our second game of the series. We got Morenas on Dehaka. Currently X-Ray on Deckard Cain, Maitri on Tychus, and Denado is playing Johanna. On the right side of the map at Benny, he's playing Dibbles. We got for the Hardos, Nick on Liming, Hazobs on Lunara, Yasu on Brightwing, and Copenhagen is playing Blaze. So, game number 2. Big map. Not a map that we see all that much, but lately has popped up a bit more often. Tons and tons of camps, obviously, on this one. And the Garden Terrors can also be pretty powerful if you lock the objective in. Now we got a global on each side. Dehaka more impactful with the wave clear than Brightwing. But it should be interesting to see if if this combo between Lunara and Liming can work for them. Because if Hazu slows them and pokes them down a little bit, and then we're having Liming coming in for resets, that could lead to a very big snowball in a lot of these team fights when the players are clustering up hard. Time will tell. On level 1, we also get the Adrenaline Stim Pack, and ooh boy, that could be a kill. Maitri is low, but since he gets an immediate assist from the rest of the team, it's all of a sudden Copenhagen who's in trouble, and scratch that, the man's dead. Copenhagen is down, they 5-manned it. The entire team came up and dropped him. Now, this might even result in a bit of extra damage at the wall down here. If Lunara can, for example, slow the rotation down, that would be amazing as well. So, interesting. But yeah, in comes Nick, is doing his thing. We already have them bot lane destroying their tower, and you can tell that Dehaka, he already encountered Lunara there and had to go around the long way. Now, Hazu and his boys, they're getting the camps. And I mean, at this point, again, after the 1 minute mark when they spawn, you have to put camp pressure on. Really important on this one. Talking about pressure, seems like Yasuo's dead. Yeah, he's down. Fruit Fly is eliminated. Copenhagen also moving away. He needs to make... Like, in this case, actually, what they're trying to do is they're trying to simply make sure that the camps are not taken. So as the blue team moves in, they thought they had a chance here to maybe sneak this. But with Copenhagen, he was sitting at the side saying, alright guys, I'm at least going to keep an eye on the camp and see if they rotate over. And if they do, then of course we have to react. But that's going to be the play of the game for quite some time here. And Benny is now getting attacked too. Brightwing helping out, and they're both making it out. So very strong 4 and 5 man rotations of Team Ash currently, where they're attempting to get kills. It worked twice for them. They play with Dehaka a little bit on the global to make sure they're not losing too much XP. But of course, since they are like grouping up this hard, there's also a lot of added pressure on the lanes. And in this case, yep, we have the bot lane more or less eliminated. And yes, that's that for now. Okay, so up at the top, they go for Morenas. And they might even get the kill here with additional slows, because now Diablo is joining the fun as well, so that's even more CC. The Haka's trying his best to escape, but that's just not happening. At the bottom of the map, the counterplay against Brightwing. We have the first seed up on the map, and X-Ray is starting to lock that in, but with the camp push topside, I think we're going to see the second wall fall too. My try is going to attempt to help with the defense, but they are still interrupting down here, so this is starting to become really annoying for the blue team. They're just losing way too much ground here. The fort at the bottom of the map has already taken damage, but yeah, Brightwing is too late. Nicely done by Bishops. That eliminates Brightwing, Liming quickly. But it doesn't change the fact that the top is getting pressured and they are likely going to lose the entire fort here. My try is all alone, there's nobody else helping, and that's a big structural win already. Now the continuous play for kills, that's something that Team Ash is doing way better though. They had 3 kills to 1 and they nearly locked in another one at the bottom of the map against Brightwing, but well, as it stands now, ooh, look at this Seeker. Not even going Calamity. Yeah, I mean, Nick is doing that shit sometimes. Also, the occasional play straight into his glass cannon on level 13. Not the biggest fan of it, but we'll see what he can do. Especially when they're ahead, we sometimes see him going all out YOLO with the builds that he's going for. Not going Calamity is definitely out of the norm, and if he already tries to be hyper aggressive with it, he could once again just go into glass cannon and say, like, let's YOLO that completely. If that's the case, he needs to pay attention to 2 things in particular. He needs to pay attention to the positioning of the Haka and where he could potentially move in. And he needs to also take care that he doesn't get hit by Hanzo. So keeping an eye on the minimap and really watching for these arrows is absolutely mandatory if you want to go for that playstyle. Or any connect is going to drop you. But well, either way, at the bottom of the map now, we got Lunara dealing with this camp, so structurally they're doing way better. 1 fort is already down, but they have lost the first seed, and, well, he could interrupt here again. Lunara has to come up for the defense. Oh, that could have been a problem for my try. If Copenhagen is able to come through here, that would have been, yeah, disastrous for Daikes. He's really playing with fire here. He has 0 resistance. Everybody else is up at the top. They're trying to save... Oh my god, they actually did save Blaze. Not bad. Obviously, the Hardos are playing for level 10. They're only half a level away from it. They're now here also with everybody else. Full heal, of course. Thanks to the Devil's Due. And in comes Bad Benny again. And they go for Bishops, and that's a kill. The problem is that Lunara got also eliminated. So each team loses 1. But as they're inching closer to level 10, that's becoming a bigger problem for Team Ash by the second. Yeah. They're already low. The channel is happening from Brightwing. There it is. And now they got level 10. And here's the APOC play. Zoning them, but he doesn't get the connect. And that's problematic. And look at Nick. He goes disintegrate. I mean, at this point, the fuck is happening? Nick is going full on Storm League build on this one. Full quick match build. Disintegrate without Nunubarak on the other side. On level 7 Seeker. Oh, of course he's gonna go glass cannon here. The boy is having a bit of fun, I'd say. Didn't hit the kill, as we were trying to force it, but hey. So, structurally they're ahead. They draw even in seeds. But yeah, Nick is farming damage. He's trying for that MVP position. Don't do this at home, kids. don't do this in your own games. Oh boy. Nick just again advertising bad Storm League builds. Okay, so we got 4 kills to 2, so the kill advantage still goes to Team Ash, but as mentioned, they are behind in structures. And another thing that I want to point out real quickly is, look once again at the minion experience. Despite the fact that they're running the Haka, look at how far ahead in minion XP the Hardos are. The Hardos are at 17,000 against 13,000. They're doing way better. Way better on this. And of course, right now, we got the interrupts over here again as the teams are fighting for the second one. 4 kills to 2. And Bad Benny, careful. He needs some assist. Oh my god, he dodged the arrow, but he's still dead. He has the stack, so he's gonna come back, but by now we also have Odin popped, so that's the next one. And off we go. Bunker is in. Yeah, so they're trying, but I think eventually they will have to give ground here. And they might even lose more heroes. Nick trying to go for the laser show again. Dibbles is back, but of course now is much weaker. And there's the kill. Nicely done. They get the kill after all. That one was important. Li Ming is a little bit low, but still alive. And they are able to channel this, or they will be now. 5 kills to 3. So even exchange in kills, but that worked out nicely. Alrighty. Okay, so with this, we got bishops and everybody is still moving up to the top real quickly. And yeah, middle of the map, they're also pushing. And there it is, glass cannon. Yeah, Nick is having some fun. Nick is having himself a fun game. And obviously they're the favorites in this one, so why not? 13 against 12. A lot of range poke that he's going to go for. But again, he needs to now be careful of the two things mentioned before. Hanzo's arrow and Dehaka. If one of them has a good engage, then Nick should, by all rights, just be dead. So those two are really important. So positioning is at this point really everything. Keep in mind where those pushes are. Here, for example, you can see that Lunara is already helping out with that, ensuring that they know 100% whenever Dehaka is starting to make a move. They get another fort here too, so that's already big. There's the arrow. Yeah, exactly. Nicely done. Good job. So he needs to really, really watch out for that. It can't pop him instantly, but it's close. And if there is follow-up, then it's just going to be a disaster. As long as he can poke from a distance, on the other hand, he's obviously going to farm damage. And he wants to follow up on those stuns, and yeah, there are plenty now. Denado is dead. They're trying for another kill against X-Ray, and the old man is trying to rush away here. But with Hardos slowing him down and Blaze moving in too, there's just no helping it. It's a kill against the Eckhart Kane. Diablo died, but it's still the first wave that we're now seeing on the ground. So here come the Web Weavers, the Garden Terrors. The Garden Terrors, and off we go. Alright, so 6 kills to 5, and with that we're gonna have our push in the mid lane, even trying to go straight up for the keep here if they can. I mean, the fort at the bot lane is definitely gonna fall. But yeah, bishops. I mean, again, he can absolutely murder Li Ming if he gets a shot at her. So this is all about trying to connect with her. Nick needs to take care of his positioning, then he can play this shit. But if they at any point get either a Dehaka drag or an ult or an Hanzo arrow connected, then Li Ming is gonna be down. But as you can see, it's working quite nicely for them so far. Obviously, the Hardos also outclassed Team Ash quite a bit. And yeah, there's a reason why we're not seeing this kind of stuff when they are playing against Team Wa, just to name one example. Alright, anyways, so level 16 is in. And obviously, Nick should have eclipsed Lunara. Yes, he's at 29,000 damage by now against the 24k. We're still having the play at the bottom of the map for the next camp, as long as they have level 16 talents. If they can now take these away, that would be amazing. Yeah, Dehaka tries the drag here. Apok is already out, and Dehaka's going to be hit by it, but he also was able to go straight up for Diablo with his ult. Backline is already dead, and they just ignore Nick. You can't ignore Li Ming when she has glass cannon. That's just suicidal. I honestly don't know what exactly they're thinking here. Yes, there are a lot of targets there, but if Nick sits at the side here with Li Ming, and you literally don't do anything, not even poke a little bit with range against him, then you can't complain when the guy just rips you a new one. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. So, Team Ash, they need to call this a little bit differently. I understand what they were trying to do here, but if you see Li Ming just like flanking you like this with glass cannon, I mean, of course she's going to rip you apart if you ignore her. You ignore her at your own peril. Alright, so yeah, great for them. And obviously now the pressure is mounting up even further. It was already a bad fight to begin with because they didn't have level 16 talents, but since we know for a long time now, the blue team is totally willing to take a fight like this if they think that they have a chance there. Didn't work out for them. But yep, now they go again for the front line, trying to take Blaze down. Bunkering up quickly, and they are poking that one down so fast. 16 is now there though, and the Hardos are immediately moving back. Yeah. Nicely done. So, yeah, there's Nick getting attacked. This time they got him. Again, this is pretty much like the game there. As long as they focus on him a little bit, they can definitely go for him. One blessed shield, good Dehaka move. And you have it. But either way, they're still fighting this out, and my try is currently feeling the wrath of Bambi. But he's turning it, and they're taking her down. So Lunara is dead. Here comes the engage again for Brightwing. That should be a kill, and with Hanzo delivering the final blow right between Brightwing's dead eyes. That's another shot connected. 9 kills to 8. So they're pulling ahead here a bit, but they find themselves still a level behind. And of course, they've taken way too much damage on those lanes already. Now, taking a couple of these forests down would go a long way. So they could do that. But yeah, we'll see what else they can pull off. If they are able to, for example, get the next seed connected, they might be able to build up some momentum. But just taking some of the structures down and getting also the occasional catapult pressure would already go and help them to gain some control over these lanes. Now Jojo is alone at the top, and they're forcing this quickly. They want to go for those. But it's the same play again. They need to get to Nick somehow. Nick is playing this well. I mean, he positions himself nicely. There's no Genji on the other side that can dive him too hard. So, yeah, there's a few targets, of course. Like, for example, our boy that just died. It was great coordination between the two. Benny literally just slamming Hanzo into Nick's comm. So, that was great. But now there's the Blessed Shield, there's the follow-up, and that should be a kill on Diablo again. Yep, Diablo down, X-Ray is also a little bit low. The rest of the team too. There's no stuns anymore that they have, so they have nothing really to bring back against it. If my try can land a grenade, that would also work. But in this case, he doesn't. Ah, there we go. 1 grenade and already down 30% HP. Brightwing is at the bottom of the map, and of course they're inching closer to level 20. They've had a huge lead the entire time in experience, and that is now culminating in another big talent advantage with the Storm Talents, as they're getting it. And right now, you want to at least push for the keep at the bottom of the map. If you can push us out a bit, use Lunara. I mean, she has the Forest Wrath now, so they can poke this down fairly easily. Get some camp going at the top side, start to shift the battle a little bit more down to the bottom of the map now that Brightwing is pushing this out. Can literally go for the seed first. That's a freebie for you anyways, because you have your 20. Need to be sure that there's nobody trying to snack up an isolated target, but outside of that, that one's an easy one. And then you can simply move through the bot lane, take the bottom keep, and of course by then the blue team should also get access to their level 20, and it's gonna play out a little bit better. So, yeah, we'll see. But either way, there it is. So, as expected, they're gonna go for the poke. Keep goes down. Just need to make sure that they keep the rest connected here. Either Li Ming or Lunara get in last connect, and that's it. Or Benny. I mean, Benny can also move in and take. It doesn't really matter. Brightwing is now going for that channel that I explained a second ago. Then it's all about the level 20 talents. And from here on out, Team Ash will fight on even talents once that they have their own 20. But of course, first and foremost, you need to try and deal with the structural situation a bit. Would be important for the blue team that they're winning the next objective. If they can get at least 1 seed and therefore the Garden Terrors, they have a bit of a better chance there. Hanzo now also has his bullseye, so Li Ming needs to be careful of that too. Anything that can stun her, anything that can really get to her is a problem if you're going for such a glass cannon build. So yeah, again, there's a reason why we don't see that against Team Wa. So 10 kills against 2. But recovering from this spot is going to be pretty tricky. I mean, you have a lot of good ults now. The upgrades that we see on level 20 are pretty significant. First of all, we're getting the big red button. And they could, in a team fight, have some really, really nice synergies. At the same time, I really want to see how they're going to play this out. Because we saw some nice coordination between them in earlier fights. But then they have some battle where they have Li Ming flanking them and they completely ignore her. And don't send even anybody up there. So yeah, that was a little bit of a wild one. But the seed is spawning. And off we go. So hopefully this time they have this mapped out a little bit differently. Morenas is at the bottom of the map. That's of course a bit of a hot topic for them now, since this could go straight for core. And we're 17 minutes in, so catapults are starting to hurt. I mean, again, still not scaled 100%, but there it is. Denado dodging out on all of it. Nice, so he's not even getting poked down here. Dehaka and Brightwing both at the bottom of the map. And already trying to make sure that they know exactly where they're positioned. It's all a question of when exactly the fight is gonna start. Yeah, good connect, nicely done. They are already getting pushed back here, but they also have another camp that they can take. Dehaka still at the bottom of the map. Jojo, that jet propulsion. That one would have been annoying. That would have hurt for sure. And, excuse me? Did the Haka just get killed by Brightwing? The fuck just happened? Did he move to the top and I didn't see it and he got killed there? Or did he literally just die at the bot lane to Brightwing in the minion wave? You gotta be kidding, right? I mean, that's a report and a half. I mean, what? It's like... And it's not like Brightwing had no HP. If that would have been a clutch battle between the two, then maybe, but that's game. That should be game. I have no idea what just happened out there, but that's just nasty. So here we go. The keep is down, and I mean, Dehaka, I'm sorry, but that was a big int right there. So off we go. We already have 10 kills to 10, but the core is getting attacked. Dehaka back in 5. They're trying to take the Garden Terrors down. They're able to do so. At least the 2 down here have been obliterated. Now we're having Morenas coming back in. But, yep, jet propulsion into an apocalypse attempt. That one didn't quite work out, but the core is already falling to 80%. They're all low, and they're fighting with their back towards the core. Maitri is about to go down. The arrow misses far and wide. He at least connects the bullseye. They're trying to go for Bad Benny, and they might even be able to get the kill, but it's still... I mean, again, even if they defend here, they lose every single keep. Nick is just burning it down with his integrate. Nobody cares about him. Finally, they get a connect, but they still leave Li Ming alone. She gets pinged, but nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody goes for him. Finally, some aggression, but Bishops is not going to survive this, and the core is also falling, and that is game. Grand final victory for the Hardos as they lock in a win on Garden of Terror. GG. Well played. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.